a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Hello and welcome back to the Snoot game. We're looking at Naomi's Tribulations 3. What the fuck just happened? 1 second Nazer and Naomi were talking. Now I've got a crippled brother looking more lost and confused than ever before. And little Miss Perfect Life crying like a baby outside my house. Maybe I should. Nazer, for once in your life, do the smart thing and shut up. I wince as I see Nazer recoil at my harsh words. I can't fall back into bad habits now. Think, Lucy, think. How did you unfuck this fuck up? How do you unfuck this fuck up? I look out the window and watch Naomi continue wailing. Even though I despise the idea, Naomi needs someone to be there for her and support her now more than ever. With all the thought of what I'm about to do, I realize just how much Anon had really done for me. But god damn it, I don't really want to. I turn back to face my brother, who looks like he wants to jump from our house roof. I'm going to try and calm Naomi down. Stay here and finish cleaning. Nazer nods and takes the broom Naomi set aside and distracting himself by sweeping up the rest of the trash on the floor. Easy part done. I take a calming sigh and walk out the door to the wailing idiot trying to wake up the whole neighborhood. So you okay? Naomi doesn't reply. She only keeps crying like her whole world is falling apart. Naomi, the fuck is wrong with you? Somehow her sobbing gets louder to the point that I feel my ears starting to ring. Any louder and she's going to give me tinnitus. Naomi, get a fucking grip. Naomi finally looks up at me with tear-stained face. A break. Nazer said he wants a break. I almost want to slap the bitch. She's putting on all the waterworks because Nazer wants some time away from her. And? Oh God! Naomi, who had still been lying on her knees at this point, scowls at me with a face full of fire and fury before rising to her feet. What do you mean, and? Nazer and I are the perfect couple. He is the perfect boyfriend. And I am the perfect girlfriend. We're supposed to have the perfect life together. Why? Why does he want us to take a break in our relationship? Naomi buries her face in her hands and sits on the curbside. Thankfully, she doesn't burst into more wails, which is at least an improvement. Shit. Why am I the one who has to fix this mess? I'm probably the least qualified person when it comes to relationships. Still, not like Nazer is going to be any better at this. Fuck. Guess it really comes down to me. I sit down next to Naomi on the curb. My presence makes her tense up, which also results in her shutting off the waterworks to at least appear more dignified. Nazer wants to take a break. Big fucking whoop. It's not the end of the world, it just means you two have some things to think about. I know my words are directed at Naomi, but a part of me can't help but feel they are also applicable to me. After all, I'm still trying to figure out what's really going to happen between Anon and myself. What is there to think about? Nazer and I are supposed to be together. I was going to take care of him every day. Cook dinner, clean the nest, romantic nights out, children running around the house. What am I going to do now? I already told my parents that I'm moving out. Where do I go? What do I even do? I find myself scowling at Naomi's words. So, this is what all this is about? Your perfect little plan falling apart before your eyes? You haven't really changed in the last year. Naomi's head snaps towards me, her eyes baleful and teary as she glares daggers at me. Excuse me? What What's that supposed to mean? You heard me. I mean, you were, are, and if you keep this up, will be a total fucking bitch till the day your ass turns back to dust. Naomi brows furrow. She grits her teeth so tightly that for a second I think she's going to make her gums bleed. Fuck you discount brand guitarist. Insult me all you want, you know I'm right. Nazer and I are absolutely perfect for each other, not like you and Anon. This asshole, she's lucky I don't have anything blunt I can use to beat the shit out of her. I cross my arms and give Naomi a flat look. Perfect for one another? I'm not the one with a broken relationship after a single fucking night. Me and Anon, yeah, we fight, but we also come out of it stronger. You're taking a break, but that doesn't mean our relationship's over. Unlike yours. At first, Naomi gives me a look of absolute rage. Her hand curls into a fist and her face turns a bright red. But that expression doesn't last long as her eyes again fill with tears and her shoulders slump. Why? Why what? Why talk to me? If you hate me this much, why are you wasting your breath even acknowledging my existence? You really get a rise at about knocking me when I'm at my lowest? Do you want to hit me again like you did before prom? You offering because I can oblige. I give Naomi a smug grin in an attempt to liven the mood, but my attempt to humor goes completely unnoticed. She only stares at me with absolute contempt. Naturally, I glare right back at the bitch. Still, seeing Naomi like this now, a part of me can't help but pity her. At the back of my mind, I remember a certain memory. One that I will always treasure. All that matters is her. I sigh and let my anger fade away. Anger isn't going to do anything right now. I'm not here to kick your ass, even if you deserve a beating. I look toward the window and see Nazer still sweeping, his shoulders hunched and wings drooped. God damn it. Nazer's kicking himself over this. You know the kind of guy he is. At least you should anyway. But. He worries, he always worries. Constantly, Nazer can't help himself. It's like my words are stabbing Naomi in the heart as she starts to shrink more and more. I think it's how he shows he cares, that he's willing to take everyone's issues and ignore his own. But he said he wanted to take a break, just like you and Anon. You had to have put him up to this. You homewrecker! I can't help but roll my eyes at her words. God, you're so fucking stupid. No, I didn't put him up to this shit. Hell, I didn't even tell Anon that No, I didn't put him up to this shit. Hell, I didn't even tell him that Anon and I went on break. Nazer, did you actually tell him how you set me and Anon up from the very start? The dumb bitch blanches at that. Nailed it. That's another thing about my brother, you know. He can be stupidly dense. He probably didn't even know you were trying to move in with him. Then how do you know? Called it. You and your stupid plans. Would it kill you to just, I don't fucking know, tell someone? Naomi stags and whimpers. I was going to move in with him. Go to the same college and graduate together. We would have had the perfect life together. I facepalm at her words. Perfect this, perfect that. I can't fucking stand Naomi's bullshit any longer. I stand up, for once looking down at the salmon-toned asshole. For fuck's sake, get over yourself. You're not perfect. Excuse me? Naomi stands up, her previous sadness implanted by anger. I'll have you know that I dedicated my whole life to being as perfect as I can be. That's complete bullshit, and you know it. Before you and my brother started bumping uglies, you were just some meek, nerdy bitch. Mostly harmless. But then you became whatever this is. I motioned to her whole being. You became a bossy, Machiavellian, perfectionist bitch with plans on top of plans like you're some kind of chess master. You never actually cared about Nazar in the first place, did you? You only wanted him for the prestige it would bring you. Fuck, ow! I can feel the searing heat on my cheek. Surprised she had it in her. Naomi isn't looking at me in the eyes, but she's huffing as she cradles her hand to her chest. I love Nasser. He actually cared about the useless girl like me, so I had to become his perfect girlfriend. I rubbed my cheek and did my best to keep my temper under control. Though I want to, jumping on top of the bitch and beating the shit out of her is not the answer right now, maybe later. Does a perfect girlfriend intentionally try to secretly manipulate her boyfriend's family without even telling him? Naomi's breath hitches. How do you think Nasser would react to finding out what you did? Naomi shuts her mouth as fast as she opens it. He probably wouldn't like it at all, would he? Aaron Fuckwingham. Oh, Aaron Fuckwingham. Okay, I get it now. Was way too protective of my retarded ass to approve. And he clearly did care about you too. It wasn't even that you didn't care to know how Nazar felt. You knew and actively disregarded that information. Shut up. No way, I know already. The dumb bitch shifts her head to the side, trying to hide her eyes. Please, couldn't you just let me just grovel here? Naomi's words are coming in haphazardly. It's clear that she's having a hard time forming thoughts. She already is pretty fucked up, but she needs to hear what comes next, even if it hurts her. You know what your problem is, Naomi? You've stayed sucked in your own little world with your own little plans, thinking that everything you do is always going to turn out just like you planned. Well, guess what? The world doesn't revolve around you. Naomi rises an eyebrow at me at first. Then she grimaces before fixing me with a look that can only be described as disgust. Yet, as the second ticks by, Naomi's expression changes. Her grimace slowly vanishes, replaced instead with a 1,000-yard stare. You're right. I haven't changed one bit. She grabs hold of her head and once more falls to her knees. Ever since I stopped being a meek, nerdy girl, I became obsessed with perfection, to the point that I wound up becoming some kind of coral castellan. Did I work hard to get there? Yes. Should I have worked so hard when I led to where I am today? I don't know anymore. All I know is that, aside from your brother, nothing ever really made me happy. Nothing. Again, against my better judgment, I kneel next to Naomi and put a hand on her shoulder. Hey, just because you're a manipulative fucking bitch doesn't mean that you haven't done some good. I mean, you did bring me and Anon together. Also, you did make my brother happy. Even if it was under your authoritative thumb. I kind of feel sick saying that. I shouldn't be praising her manipulative bitchiness, but I can't deny that Nazar was genuinely happy being with Naomi. Have him with Rosa! Even if most of the happiness was a side effect and not a direct result of a healthy relationship. Or is she with Stella? No, Stella's with a dude. Have him with Rosa. Maybe. Maybe a break is what you two need more than ever. Time away to think. Time away to contemplate what the two of you really mean to each other. Time to really figure out what the two of you mean to each other. Once again, though my words were meant for Naomi, a part of me can't shake the fact that they're applicable to me as well. You really think so? I shrug my shoulders. I don't fucking know. Maybe this break is what the two of you need to really start a new phase of your relationship. Or maybe this is it, and maybe you two will go your separate ways. I almost feel myself tearing up as I say those words. I don't want to admit it, but part of me fears that my words may turn out to be prophetic in regard to Anon and myself. Naomi is eerily quiet as she absorbs my words. I keep my hand on her shoulder. I'm not entirely sure why, though. Maybe a sign of support? The fuck did I know? Still, being there for Naomi, even if most of me still hated the bitch, felt good. So, what? What am I supposed to do now? The question really struck me harder than it should have. What was next? I don't know any proper answer. But the one thing I can do is try to bury this hatchet with Naomi once and for all. So I spoke with Naomi, truly spoke to her. For the first time, we talked on a common ground. Even though both our voices were already dry, we just kept letting it out for hours. Every insult and begrudging compliment we'd ever thought of each other was put out in the air. When we ran out of words, we just lay there silently. I nearly drifted off to sleep on the sidewalk when a car pulled up in front of us. Oh, Naomi must have called a taxi. I cranked one eyelid open to see Naomi hesitantly moving into the back seat. She stops with her hand on the handle. Fang? This is probably just me being deliriously exhausted, but I enjoyed this talk we had. You better. Not every day I pour out my soul to anyone that is an Anon. Naomi actually laughs at my humor this time. Progress. Hanging out might not be so bad sometimes. She goes quiet. Before she can muddy up her thoughts with something else, she gets in the taxi. See you around. She shuts the door before I can say anything and is gone within seconds. Yeah, I can probably hang around with Naomi again. Again? I need to get up from this curb. After a few of my feathers had bent and gotten stuck in the concrete from being pressed into it for so long, the door was still unlocked, luckily. Good thing I don't live in Skin Row. My place would probably be down to the foundations by now. Dragging myself up the stairs, I remember Naomi and Nazer didn't even really get to say goodbye. He took it about as well as I expected. Judging by the loud music coming from his room, he's still upset. He'll probably stop crying by the time he leaves in a few days. I sigh into my pillow. This shit is definitely not my style. When I turn over to the cool side of my pillow, my fingertips brush against the corner of my phone. A break. Before I can think otherwise, my fingers tap the number I memorized by heart. I take a few seconds but see the screen change to display Anon's tired face, barely lit by his shitty phone screen. Lucy, it's 3 a.m. I know, but... You okay? Yeah, I just wanted to see you. Anon, I know we're on break, but I want to see you. You mean like visit? Oh, you shut the fuck up, I'm trying to sleep. Damn it. If I could, I would. When's your next break? What? When is your next break? A couple months, July, I think. Text me with the date. Yeah, sure, but why? I'll buy the ticket in the morning. If you can't come see me, then I'll visit. Anon, I swear to God! Eat a plate of penises, you copper prick! I can see his face start to turn pink. Yeah, right, yeah, I'll give you the date and address. You better. Guess, I gotta go now. Good night, Anon. Night, Lucy. My screen fades to black and drops down onto the sheets. I love you. It's just break after all. Still going? Alright, so that was it for Naomi's Tribulations. So next is Rainbow's Observations. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.